hold your stomachs from growling too much. I'm going to try to partake some things upon you guys. Some things that the Lord would share with you. The things that the Lord He's been dealing with a lot of things with me over the past, over this past year. A lot of us have to deal with character, and it also has to deal with wants and needs. And when I look at wants and needs in my life, God has done some drastic things that I now see have been great blessings in my life. My year started out at the beginning of this year with great change and great loss. The loss was job. The loss was my home. And I lost those two things. Things that I realized I depended on a lot. Too much. I saw my job as who I was. I saw my job as my strength, my security, more than my Lord was in my life. I saw my house as a dream that came true. I found it to be a necessity in my life, which it really wasn't. God has made a promise to me that He will always supply all my needs. And He always has. When I did get my home, it came at the right time. It was there for me the whole time I needed to raise my children. My children are grown and they're on their own. My job distracted me from a lot. It really became too much of my life. Even during the time of raising my children, I spent way too much time at work. And it's something I dealt with for a lot of years. Yeah, I struggled with that. That I made my job a center of who I was. I was proud of what I was doing. And they said that pride cometh before a what? Fall. And when I fell very hard. And it was a building up that led me to that. I was dealing with a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. I was on the beginning of my second marriage, was only going on a couple of years. And a lot of this came at a very hard point for my wife, and she going through a lot. And I was like, God, why is this happening? And it took me a long time to really start understanding the complete message that God was showing me. And it all came down to wants and needs. When you want something, you know that feeling. You have an urge to get after it. And if you are like most guys, you won't stop until you get it. We go after it full barrel. We're not going to stop. A project. How many of us have started a project at the home that we're going to do? Whether it's remodeling a room. Dennis, I'm sure you can relate to a lot of this. He's been doing remodeling. You get started on a project and it consumes you. And you're going to get it done no matter what. Brad gets into projects all the time here at the church. And he's trying to improve and do things here. And it sucks you up and it takes you. But needs are different. You can ignore the things you need for years, decades, even a lifetime. For example, health. How many of us are good at that? especially dieting. Your doctors tell you need to change your diet. You need to do this to stay healthy. You live longer. Take care of yourself. Even the Lord tells us this. Take care of your temple. But how many of us really do it? We do it for a few days. We get off of it. We go back and forth. Sleep is another thing we're really good at. How many of us all get the proper sleep in here? Yeah. Well, I got one person. Geez, you're one in a million. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you know.
Make sure I get you.
Focusing on our family. How many of us are good at that? Huh? How many of us are truly good at focusing on our family, spending the quality time we need to with them, or taking things with them, showing and training our child in the way they should go? It's a tough one. There's a few. I saw a couple of hands go. I'm in there. Your future and more. How many of us really think about our future? How many really plan for our future? It's hard to look ahead and really say what you're going to do tomorrow. You know? And there's so much more that the needs that we need to do, and we kind of blow them off. We let them go by. I'll get to it later. I'll wait. I'll do it. Next week I'll do that. Your wants can take control of your life. Leave little time and energy for real needs. Wants can crowd out your need for God. That's the biggest one. Good news is that God is always there. He's always waiting. He's always ready to respond whenever you're ready. Our number one need should always be God. He should always be first.
Amen.
And utmost number one. Above anything. Period. He spells that out to us real early in the Bible. Exodus 23. He says the first 10 commandments, the very first one is what, guys? Very little room to interpretate here. God says, I'm first in the 10 commandments. He says, I am first. Society encounters you to ignore God. God gets a few hours on Sunday. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. God should be every day, first thing in the morning, and the last thing before you close your eyes at night.
Amen.
It should be God. You're part of a culture that encourages you to treat God and God's laws as mere recommendations based on our circumstances or based on our own desires. Is that the way it should be? No. Society looks to itself for the guide in our life, but yet not the creator. Now, I don't know how much sense that makes, because whenever you buy anything that is manufactured, what comes with it? An owner's manual. If you ignore that owner's manual and you don't do what that owner manual tells you to do to take care of that merchandise, what will happen to it? It will not last like it should. It will break sooner than it should. And that's the end of that. Well, it's the same thing in our life.